Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents Three from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show. Saturday. Thank you guys for joining me. This is the third episode this week. So, again, Three from Deep, 3 times a week. So, I'm very excited here, finishing up my first week of doing that. So, thank you all for the support. I appreciate that. Check us out, Boom Broadcasting Network, on the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Check it out here. We got a lot of things to get into this episode. Really excited. We're going to talk about a couple of games that happened Wednesday and Thursday. And we're also going to get into and kind of dive into the All-Star selections. All-Star games coming up here. We got our All-Star selections. We got our starters. We got our substitutes. We got a few snubs we'll talk about. And I want to hear from you guys too, who you think your snubs were. We're also going to get into my 5 must-see NBA players. Michael Davis, the Boom Broadcasting president, and Cody from Code Sports. They had their must-see list, and I made my must-see list of NBA players, so I'm going to share that with you guys today. But first thing I want to do, I live here in the Northern Virginia area. I am not very far from Washington, D.C. So, guys, I want to take a moment of silence here real quick for those that lost their lives the other day with that horrific plane crash and helicopter crash here in Washington, D.C. Again, I'm really close, so that kind of shook this community pretty deep. I know the figure skating community also is shook pretty deep. There were some figure skaters on that plane. So, guys, I'm going to take and bow my heads here real quick and do a moment of silence and say a little prayer for those that lost their lives the other night. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate that. So I know it's hard to jump in these kind of things after that, but we're going to jump into some NBA. Guys, I'm very excited to go over the Wednesday night game. The Knicks handled the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, only 17 points. What's going on? 17, 6, and 6 from the Joker. The Knicks defense shut him down, which I was very excited to see. Jalen Brunson dropping 30 points, 15 assists, 4 rebounds. Let's get Jalen Brunson in the MVP watch, guys. They are playing phenomenal basketball in New York. I cannot say that enough, how well the New York Knicks are playing. And I love the cohesiveness of this team, how everybody's playing. Karl Anthony Towns dropped 14, 10, and 5. OG Anunoby threw in 23 points. Everybody's contributing on that team, but I like seeing the defense shutting the Joker down to only 17 points. He's having an MVP season. So to beat that Nuggets team, 5 straight wins now. So after that game, let's go Knicks, baby. Playing well in the East, still third in the East, but we're only a game back from the Boston Celtics from that 2 spot. So Boston, you better watch it. We're coming for you. New York Knicks coming for you, making noise in the East. So great job, great win on Wednesday. We're also going to get into a huge win for the Woeful Warriors. Wednesday night, the Warriors played SGC and the OKC Thunder. Very well. Very disappointed in how they've been performing, really sliding back in the West. But a fantastic win for the Golden State Warriors, 116-109, beating the first place Oklahoma City Thunder. SGA drops 52. SGA, MVP watch. I think it's Joker 1A, SGC 1B, or SGA 1B. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is up there for that MVP, guys. Drops 52, had a fantastic game. Jalen Williams dropped 26, but still lost to the Golden State Warriors. Wiggins drops 27. Steph had 21. Looney added 18 points. No Draymond, no Kuminga. So the Golden State Warriors needed that win. They have been playing some uninspiring basketball. I hate seeing Steph Curry, the greatest shooter God ever created. I don't want to see this become kind of the end of his legacy, being on some really, really bad teams and just kind of start fading away. So good win for the Golden State Warriors. Kind of an iffy loss for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Hopefully they can bounce back. We're in that lull period of where teams kind of get bored, especially the top teams. We're right before the All-Star break. The trade deadline's going on, so there's a lot of rumors and stuff floating around. So teams and players tend to get a little antsy, a little bored. So to see Golden State win and Oklahoma City loss, it was a little weird, but hey, and this is the NBA. These guys are professionals and they want to play. So, and then Thursday night, Grizzlies, they got manhandled by the Knicks the other day. The New York Knicks blew them out the Garden, but they had a bounce back without Ja Morant, no less. The Grizzlies beat the Houston Rockets 120-119. Houston, Brooks had 22, Amen had 21, Jalen Green 25. But the Grizz showed some life. Grizz third in the West, Rockets second in the West. Jackson had 21, Desmond Bane 24, Luke Kennard dropped in 22. Good win for the Grizzlies. They needed that bounce back win after getting their doors blown out by the New York Knicks there. So they got they needed this really, really bad. And we're going to talk real quick about the Lakers beating the Wiz. Everybody's beating the Wizards right now. That was their 16th straight loss. They are the worst team franchise in NBA and possibly in pro sports. It's really disappointing being that close to the Washington Wizards, where I can kind of go see games, but they're that bad where I really don't want to go see the Washington Wizards play. They lost 134-96 to the Lakers. LeBron, 24 points, 11 assists. Anthony Davis not playing, out of a week with that abdominal muscle strain. Lakers in need of another big man. Anthony Davis, he's always got question marks on him. He's a great player. He can give you 30, 20 at any moment in time. But the best ability is availability. And Anthony Davis tends to get broken a lot. So hence why his nickname is Street Clothes or Mr. Glass. But the funny part of it was Bronny James, 12 minutes, 5 points, was at the free throw line, and you heard MVP chants from the crowd. So it was kind of interesting. I'm sure it was a poke at Bronny James / LeBron's kid. Made for interesting TV. This is where Bronny needs to learn, when you become an NBA player, you better have a thick skin, because if you go into the enemy's domain, you're going to hear everything. You're going to have all kinds of stuff thrown at you. So you better be prepared. And especially being LeBron James's son, you better be prepared for stuff like that. So it was interesting. I think he handled it very well. But I'd be curious to see how he kind of deals with this throughout his career, because it's going to follow you. You're the son of LeBron James, the king, and you're going to be held to a certain standard. So it's going to be interesting. But to hear the Washington crowd chant MVP at Bronny James kind of was a little bit of a chuckle there. So I'm jumping into this real quick. Friday night, because I do record this on Friday night for Saturday. So happy Saturday, everybody. But Friday night, we got the Bucks versus the Spurs. I'll review that game for Monday's show, because I'm very excited. I'm going to watch that here pretty soon to see Giannis, the Greek freak, against Wemby, the Parisian pillar. Throwing that nickname out there because I know Wemby's the only nickname he's got out there. You got Rudy Gobert as the Stifle Tower, so you can't really use anything like that for Wembanyama. So the Parisian Pillar, guys, spread the word. I'm trying to get that out there for him. So the other thing I want to jump into real quick, I'm not going to dive into this too much because it's kind of a developing story. But Terry Rozier, who plays for the Heat now, is under investigation. Back in 2023, the NBA investigated him for some illegal sports betting shenanigans, schemes, whatever you want to call it, back in 2023. The NBA didn't find anything, but now there's a federal investigation under that. This is the same investigation that back in April suspended Jante Porter for life. So, developing story. We'll see where this goes. But this makes me nervous. This is why a lot of sports franchises and a lot of like the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, they really, really didn't like gambling brought into the fold here and being marketed and being sold by the players. Now it's all over the place because gambling is almost fully legal everywhere now. NBA, ESPN sports betting, there's sports books everywhere. So, and there's always been, throughout the years, there's always been some kind of betting drama, whether it's in college basketball, guys taking money, throwing games, NBA, there's always been NFL, there's always been something. Of course, Major League Baseball, Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, some of the more popular ones that have gotten caught. But this is very concerning because is this going to become a trend? Are you going to continue to see these type of investigations? This is not just, somebody betting on a game. This is guys throwing games. This is guys, making monetary gains off of the job that they do. So we're going to watch this a little bit more. And once I get some more information, we may touch that on a little bit, but I wanted to bring it to you guys because I know Terry Rozier is not a big name, but this is a bigger story than a lot of people are leading on. So I'm concerned about it a little bit. So before we jump into my All-Stars, earlier this week, the Prez, Michael Davis on Out of Pocket, and Cody, Drew Code Sports Network, gave a must-see top 5 of basketball players that they would want to see, that they would pay to see. And I got mine. And I'm going to give that to you now because there's some great players in the NBA. There is, you talk about athletic, you talk about charisma, guys that you would just love to see. Remember back in the day, I got to see, when I lived in South Florida, I got to see Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony play against each other, which was awesome to see that, to see those guys play, to see their athleticism, their energy. So my top 5 NBA players must see, I want to see, and I'd love to see live and in person. Number 5, Luka Doncic. Luka, just his game, the way he flows on the court, some of the shots he makes, some of the passes he makes, the creativity, the kind of almost street ball mixed with that European flavor. Love Luka Doncic. Love some Luka. I would love to see him. Must see basketball. Number 4, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, we talk about him for our MVP, my crack graphics staff MVP with Club Shay Shay here. I would love to see him. He can give you 50 at any point. fluid with the basketball, really exciting. Just the way he involves everybody around him too. He plays a lot of unselfish basketball too. So especially for as good as he is, would love to see him. But he is must see NBA TV. Number 3, I got kind of a pair because I'm a little biased, but excuse me. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson, he needs to be in the MVP conversation, guys. He's having a phenomenal year with the New York Knicks, 3rd in the East, making their way up. Karl Anthony Towns, that trade to get him from the T-Wolves, the way those guys have meshed and they play together, I love it. Fluid on the basketball court. It's exciting to be a New York Knicks fan and watch those guys. So that's my number 3 must-see basketball. Number 2, Ja Morant. Ja! Man, he is electric. If you can watch energy in a ball, it's Ja Morant. The way he flies around the court, the way he plays above the rim. I know he doesn't want to dunk anymore, but he still flies all over the place. He is probably one of the most exciting players that we've seen in this game in the past 10, 15 years. Amazing talent. Grizzlies playing really, really well. Third in the West. I want him to get back on the court because he is exciting to see. Pure electricity to watch Ja Morant. And my number 1 must-see basketball player, and I think he was number 1 on, I can't remember whose list it was. I think it was the Prez's list. Victor Wembanyama. A.K.A. Wemby, a.k.a. the Parisian Pillar. Victor Wembanyama is, I believe he's been called an alien. He's got more blocks than 99% of the NBA right now. He can shoot the ball from anywhere on the court. He is exciting. He is rare. It's like if we went back in time and you got to see Wilt Chamberlain for the first time, or Bill Russell for the first time, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's kind of like that and can shoot. Rim presence. Push him outside the arc and he can still knock it down. He is the new must-see basketball. I'd love to see the Spurs do some trading. I know there's been some De'Aaron Fox talk trading, getting him to the Spurs. I think you put him with Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul. Ooh, you talk about them making their way up. They are sniffing around the West right now, but if you put Fox on that team, Victor Wembanyama is amazing. So he is must-see basketball right now. So that's my top 5 list, guys, of must-see players. I just want to see right now, and that I love watching. So again, Luka, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Brunson, and Karl Anthony Towns, Ja Morant, and Victor Wembanyama. So I want to hear your list. Like, comment, subscribe. Throw a comment at the bottom there, guys. I want to hear from you. I appreciate all the love and support that I get from you guys, everybody that has watched the show and has stayed with me. And I appreciate that. I'm still new at this. I've only been doing podcast thing for about 5 months now. So still very, very new, still very raw, still learning. I kind of watch myself a lot to kind of see what mistakes I make. So I'm hoping I can get better. I can get better for you guys to make this more entertaining for you. But please don't be afraid to give me some constructive criticism. Drop a comment. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. I want to hear your questions. What questions you have from me that I can read on air and talk about and get into the NBA. So I want to hear that from you guys. Let's jump into the All-Star. We got our All-Star starters. We got our All-Star reserves. We have our snubs. Let's jump into that real quick here. I got my list here in front of me. Let's go with those Eastern Conference starters. Jalen Brunson, the New York Knicks, well deserved. Jalen, congratulations. Awesome Eastern Conference starter. Donovan Mitchell, first place Cavs, playing unbelievable basketball right now. Karl Anthony Towns, KAT, 2 New York Knicks starting in the All-Star game. That's phenomenal, guys. That is so damn exciting. So, excuse my language. Again, I'm a little biased. Got my Knicks stuff behind me here. So, and then you got Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, fantastic starters in the East. And then your Eastern Conference reserves. Dame time. Damian Lillard. Darius Garland for those first-place Cleveland Cavaliers. Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics. Congratulations, Cade Cunningham from the Detroit Pistons. Great job. Love seeing the Pistons back playing some good basketball. Cade Cunningham proving why he was a top draft pick. Congratulations, Cade. That's awesome. Tyler Hero. The Prez is a huge Heat fan. Michael Davis. So congratulations to Tyler Hero being named an All-Star reserve. Well deserved, and it's about time you see this kid start getting some accolades, a little recognition. Hopefully he continues to improve his game and kind of gets to that level where everybody believes Tyler Hero can be. So then you got Evan Mobley, Cleveland Cavaliers, just churning them out, man. And Pascal Siakam, Indiana Pacers, 5th in the East right now, playing really, really good basketball. Pascal Siakam's got that ring from Toronto. So that was a great addition to those Indiana Pacers. So congratulations to those guys. So that's your Eastern Conference All-Stars. Let's jump into the West here. Starters, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. No-brainer. MVP watch. Steph Curry. Everybody loves Steph Curry. He gets the most votes. So it is hard to not put Steph Curry in there. So Nikola Jokic, the Joker, Dad Bod God, having an unbelievable season. I think he's close to averaging a triple-double. So playing phenomenal basketball. Right now, between him and Shea, 1 and 2 in the MVP watch, I'm throwing Jalen Brunson at number 3 right now. So close race in the MVP considerations here. Kevin Durant. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think Kevin Durant's a good player. I think he's having an okay year. He's still a mercenary scorer, but the Phoenix Suns are playing horrible basketball. I would have thought somebody different in that slot. Excuse me. That's just me. And then, of course, you have the King LeBron James for his 250th in a row All-Star game. I don't know if it's that much, but of course, you've got to put the King in there. He's actually having a really, really good season. And as he gets kind of closer to leaving us from the league, they're going to continue to put him in there. And then you got the Western Conference reserves, Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, who is still phenomenal to watch. He almost made the list. Wolves aren't playing that good. They're playing a little bit better. I think they're 7th right now in the West, playing a little bit better. But Anthony Edwards, where are you at? Anthony Davis, who's probably going to get replaced because he's hurt all the time, still get you 30 and 20, but let's stay available. James Harden. There goes the same thing with Kevin Durant, James Harden, kind of the same thing, mercenary scorer. He can get you 30, 40 points. He's having a really, really good year. Clippers are doing well, 6th in the West. So got James Harden in there. Alperen Sengun for those Houston Rockets. I would have liked to see more Rockets in there, but Sengun playing well. Houston Rockets 2nd in the West, which is phenomenal. Jalen Williams for the Oklahoma City Thunder, that first place Thunder, which is phenomenal. And then Victor Wembanyama getting named to his first All-Star game, which is awesome. It is great to see Victor Wembanyama in the All-Star game. I think the NBA benefits from that. So fantastic. You have 6 teams that had multiple selections. The Mavs and the Kings had 0. No Kyrie, no Luka. Luka's been hurt. Kings, no Fox, no Sabonis. And that's what I want to get into real quick here. Your All-Star snubs. Trae Young, averaging 22, 3 and 11. 3 rebounds, 11 assists. No Trae Young from the Hawks. Domantas Sabonis, the double-double king. 42 out of his 44 games he's played, he's had a double-double, averaging almost 21 points and 14 and a half rebounds. All-Star snub. LaMelo Ball for the Charlotte Hornets. Just dropped his new Pumas. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Pumas. Those look really cool. 28 points, averaging 5.3 rebounds, 7.3 assists. Having a really, really good season. But the Hornets are 12 and 32. He does have a sprained ankle. Probably wouldn't play anyways, but still not named. Having a really good season. Snubbed. Norman Powell for the Clippers. 24 points a game. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Leads the team in points average. Leads the team. Norman Powell is not on the list on the All-Star game, but in the All-Star game or as a reserve, but James Harden is. Interesting. Snubbed. Who else do we got? Franz Wagner for O-Town. Now, Orlando has slipped off a little bit. 7th in the West, or 7th in the East now. But Franz Wagner, unfortunately, he got hurt this year, but 24, almost 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists a game. Snubbed. He did miss, again, 20 games, but he is a phenomenal player. Devin Booker, averaging 25.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Suns are 24 and 22. They're just kind of hanging around there in mediocrity. But Devin Booker, you pick Kevin Durant over Devin Booker. Devin Booker snubbed. Jared Allen for the Cavs. I mean, you can't put the whole Cavs team on the All-Star game. They're playing great. He's only averaging about 13 points and 10 rebounds a game, but still, Cavs, 3 All-Star game players on there: Mitchell, Garland, and Evan Mobley. So kind of hard to put him on there, but still having a great year. Some of the other ones just to throw in there: the Bulls, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. Again, Mavs, Kyrie Irving playing good basketball. Raptors, Scotty Barnes. Atlanta Hawks, Jalen Johnson also. John Morant for the Grizz. I know he was hurt a little bit there too. So interesting to see. There's some snubs. I agree with some of that All-Star list. I think there's some guys in there that were kind of grandfathered in, not making fun of LeBron James's age, but LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. They're having some good seasons, but are they having all-star seasons? East is a little bit different. I think everybody in the East is pretty good. I don't see anybody in the East that I would say, all right, I can take him out and put him in. The West is a little more suspect. Anthony Davis, never available. So it's just nice to see Victor Wembanyama there, guys. So, look, my first Saturday show. I appreciate you guys showing up with me. Have a great, safe weekend. We'll be back on Monday. We'll discuss what happened over the weekend. So I thank you guys very much for joining me. Again, this is 3 from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Colenso, the Boom Broadcasting Network on the YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Thank you guys very much. Again, comment. I want to hear from you guys. And have a great weekend. I appreciate it.